And also, I got to work directly with the offers performance team because they're the one who were asking the question. And so I would
Your
do my
clients,
work
right?
exactly my clients, and then I would like every Friday we'd have like a weekly meeting, and then I would present to them my results, and they'd give feedback. And so it was really like it was crazy to like work with them like directly and to see like how I was able to help them out. So they were also very patient with me, and but I think that overall like they were happy with the results, and
So they said, "Oh, you should
yeah,
get a return offer."
yeah, exactly.
So your findings or your results really help them to solve the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that's what I was worried. I was worried they'd be all like, oh no, they assigned an intern to this project. This is going to be useless. But they were really like supportive, and they're all like, oh, you're doing a great job. Like, we really like your presentation. So they always like offered support. So I never felt like intimidated. They were always so friendly.
Yeah, I see.
So that was really cool to see like how a data scientist functions and also see how a software engineer functions, and like basically compare those two and see like which one I like better. So that was
Which
really
one do you like better?
I like the predictability of software engineering, but I think that I would want to eventually like transition into data science because I really like building models and building classifiers, and I got a master's degree, right? So I want to make it, I feel like data science is where I can apply most of my master's skills. So software engineering was like really cool, especially because you get to build products that like are seen directly by the customer, while data science is kind of like under the hood internal customers. But I really like
the
data science.
Uncertainty, predictability.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like a different type of challenge. It was like you had to discover something, which is what I really like. Exactly.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, the experience is amazing.
Yeah,
I think you got the best internship ever on the world.
It was so amazing. I was so grateful. So that's why it's like, because they cared about me so much, that's what like was one of the main reasons why I want to go back, is because I know I'll be well taken care of. I know there'll be like tons of opportunities. Like even if I don't like the project or I don't like the work, like it's so easy to move teams and discover something new because Microsoft is so big and there's so many projects to work on that I'll never get bored. So
yeah, they have cloud.
Exactly.
Big data. Yeah. So I just I wonder, is it I guess you have a lot of intern peers, right? How many interns
That's a good question. So I think this was our biggest. No, there's more than 100. This was our biggest intern class of 3,000.
3,000.
There were a ton of interns
in Seattle.
Yeah, in Seattle alone, we had interns in like some in California and other places, but I think Seattle was 3,000, and then like other places was like maybe like 500 more interns. But yeah, I was really worried about that. I was like, there's so many interns, and the Microsoft campus is really big, so it's like some of the buildings would take like 20 minutes to walk to. So it's like, even if I did meet someone, what if they worked in like Red West and I worked all the way in building 36? It took about like 10-minute drive to get from one side to the other. Like how would
collaborate.
Exactly, like how would I even become friends with them? So I was really worried about like being able to find friends in such a huge group. And what really helped with that was corporate housing. They put a bunch of interns together in a hotel, so you would see familiar faces every day. And then they also had like a little lounge downstairs where they'd give us free breakfast and host like movie nights. So I just like go to the lounge, and then I'd keep seeing the same faces, and I'm sure everyone felt the same way. They were nervous too. So eventually, like, I was like, hey, I keep seeing you often. Do you want to be friends? And they were like, yeah, I want a friend too. And we ended up forming a pretty tight-knit like group of 20 friends, and we do something together like every weekend and like even weeknights, because we all live together. It's like just go downstairs and hang out. It was really easy, and so that was a lot of fun, like to get to meet these interns, like. And they were also like from all over the place, like CMU, Cornell, Berkeley, Virginia Tech. Like it was pretty cool.
But during the time, like you have to work on 2 projects, do you feel like you don't have time for friendship or so networking?
Not necessarily. It's like I definitely worked more this last summer than any other internships.
So how many hours?
I like, so it's normally like 40 hours a week, right?
Yeah.
But like 40 hours, it's like, oh, you take a break here and there. Sometimes you have an extended lunch, or
Yes.
you'd like come in late. But like this summer, like I literally had to like have my brain on like all 8 hours. So it's like sometimes I'd stay late, but it's more like I just couldn't take like as many breaks. So I had to like put in my full effort 8 hours a day, and I was able to manage it fine.
That's great.
Except like some weeks, like maybe like on like Thursday before the meeting on Friday, I'd like have to take my laptop home and do some work. But usually, like it was fine
After
to
6,
balance.
then you will have your free time.
Exactly.
That's great. That's great. And I think, I don't know if it's correct. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
My understanding is, as a software engineer, maybe you cannot just do too long, right? If it's too long, your brain gets
exactly.
tired, and then you cannot write really good code.
Exactly.
8 hours is good.
Yeah,
intense
exactly.
enough.
Like that's plenty of time, and it's usually like I get there early because I get there around 8:30, just because the bus is more convenient that way. But most people don't get in till like 10,
Wow.
so they're really relaxed about that.
That's why you get a return offer. His manager was like, "You are already
I know,
here."
right? My manager always gets in at 10 as well. Like, so it's
It's a
that's
good impression.
true. Yeah,
That's
and so I would leave a little bit earlier than the rest too, because I would do like 8:30 to 5, while they do like 10:30 to like 6, basically. But yeah, it's like you said, it's like you shouldn't put more than 8 hours, because then you'll burn out. And I definitely didn't see like much of the workers, like my coworkers, doing that either. It's like they came in there 8 hours, and they like prioritized their life, and like my manager did the same thing, so they understand.
So, 8 hours,
Yeah,
I work
like
as
work-life balance.
as good as possible, as productive as
Exactly,
possible.
exactly.
Then after 8 hours is my personal life. I need
Exactly.
to, relax.
Yeah, and it's like they just trust you to get the work done. So they're like, however you want to like distribute your time, just show up to work, show up to the meetings, and then the rest, like whenever you want to work, is up to you.
Okay, cool.
So that was really nice.
What about the culture? So how would you describe Microsoft's culture compared to your previous internship company?
So my first internship was as a finance technology company called Thomson Reuters, and that was like a lot more formal. Like you had to come in at 8, and then you had to log in your 8 hours, not including lunch, and you could only leave at 5. So it was like strict. It was fun but strict. And then last summer I was at a ad tech company called Quantcast, which was like a recent startup. So about like 700 employees total, I think, and that was like the opposite. They're all like, if you want to work from home, you can work from home. If you want to like come in at 11 and then leave at 7, that's up to you, because they had free lunch and dinner, so they were like, stay as long as you want, we'll feed you. But it was also like a lot less structured. Like we didn't have a PM. It was kind of just like you had to take on multiple roles. And in Microsoft, it was like a nice in the middle, because it's a huge corporation, so it's like they have a lot more structure integrated. So there's like a designated like manager, there's a designated like PM, like Scrum Master, and then like the software developer. So your role is very well defined. So that was really nice. It's like, in the sense, like I didn't have to try to like make these big like design decisions all by myself, because like my PM was there to like help me out. And that's how like some people like wearing multiple hats, but it's like, for me, it's like I like having someone like dedicated to that role, so I know they're making the best decision. And so that was really nice, in the sense like it was very like structured. There was a lot of I guess like a lot of thought gone into like the new hire like onboarding process, because they have to like onboard so many people, like I don't even know how often, like every month or so. And so it's
the
like
largest onboarding team.
Exactly. So there's always a ton of resources, and then like your manager and mentor are prepared to like onboard you, and they know like they know like you're just an intern. They know like not to overwhelm you, or like how to challenge you. And then in general, just culture, I think it varies from team to team, because I know like, for example, the Bing culture is a lot different from like a mature product like Office. But in terms of Office, it was a really no, I wouldn't say relaxed. It was a very driven culture, I think is a good way of saying it. Like whenever like I hear people talk about their projects that like are stand up, they were always like just very on top of their things. They were very like driven, and they're always like asking questions. They're all like, oh, what about this or what about that? So they're just like, I think they really care about this product. So it's like they wouldn't just do their job and be done. It's kind of like they do their job and also like see like how could they improve it, or like how they could integrate their ideas. And so that was really cool to just see like that level of like passion and interest and like pride in their work. So that was really nice. And but also it wasn't like burning out. They didn't overwork themselves, and we had a lot of like morale events, which was also really nice. Like we had a few picnics. One of the managers had a boat, so he took us out on his boat. We had like a bowling day. So there was also like days where it's like you just relax and then like get to know the team, which was my favorite part, because getting to know them and talking to them made them so much less intimidating. It's like they're not just like this mega genius that like has worked at Microsoft for 10 years. They're just like, they're like a normal person. They love bowling, like, you know. So that was really nice. And I think that makes a huge difference, like liking your team and being able to bond with them.
That's great.
So that was like, in terms of culture, like that was my favorite part. It's like their emphasis on like morale events.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'd like to know more about your, personal life. You're not just a genius, a really good, awesome software engineer, but also a very fun, interesting human being, right? So let's chat about that. What's your hobbies? What made you interested in computer science? Maybe it's not relevant, but just want to know more about you.
Yeah. So Netflix takes up most of my time. I can tell you that.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. I thought you always
No, I equally procrastinate. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay. Made me feel better.
Yeah, don't worry. Like I love like Netflix and Hulu. Like I'm going to the gym because like you sit in a chair all day long, and like you have a standing desk. Like I had a standing desk, but I maybe used like twice the whole summer because I always forget.
Yeah.
And so one really nice thing is like Microsoft gave us like free gym membership. So great stress reliever.
Yeah.
And it's also nice to get moving around because it's like you're sitting all day. So that's something I've recently taken up. And also it's like they also have so much like free food like every other time, so it's like I have to balance out what I eat with what I burn.
Oh, they offer free lunch?
They don't offer free lunch. They offer subsidized lunch, but it's usually like whenever they have like a big meeting or something, they bring in snacks. And so it's so easy. And like every Wednesdays we have like free ice cream, and it's like I know I can't resist the ice cream, so I have to.
Nobody can resist it.
Exactly, to make up.
But you have a balance. You can go to the gym.
Exactly.
That's great. That's great.
That's always really nice. But yeah, so like usually on weekdays it'd be like I go to work, I go to gym, I come home, eat dinner, watch Netflix, go to sleep, then repeat. But on weekends, like usually we do something with the interns. It's like just go out and explore Seattle or play board games. Like that's usually what I ended up doing in my free time.
That's fun enough.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really good life. Yeah, so Nandhini has to go to lunch with her boyfriend. So let's have the last part talk about, maybe give the students, international students, the best suggestion, just in one sentence or two sentences. What would you like to say to them and to encourage them?
So basically, like I would say, like obviously, like apply to companies that you're passionate about, but apply as many places as you can, just so like not only so at least one of them will say yes, but also it's great practice to interview with like multiple companies. And that's what I realized. It's like the more you interview, even if you're not interested in that company, the better like you get at interviews, the more practice. So when you get to the company you actually care about, then you're all ready to go because you've already like battled through so many interviews. That and just practice makes perfect. Like there's no secret formula, there's no like magic to it. It's just practice. And yeah, if you practice, and everyone will do great.
Everyone can go to Seattle.
Exactly.
Okay, congratulations again for getting the return offer. I will see you in Seattle.
Thank you.
Let's visit Nandhini in Seattle next time. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. That was pretty cool.